I'm doing pizza dough. So I'm going to, trying something new now. Yeah. Going to put, I think I'll go ahead and put my water in there. 350 grams. Okay, perfect. Now I need to put 60 grams of my starter. Now mine is the einkorn starter. So yeah. And I'm going to put 60 grams of that. So I can get it to flop out here. Nice and thick. Okay, 60 on the dot. Wow. Let me get that pushed back down in there. And this is the starter I had in the fridge. I took some out and fed it. So yeah. Okay, so I got that in there. So I don't need the scale anymore because I've already got my flour ready. Now, what I'm doing different, I didn't have but 3.5 cups of my einkorn flour in that bag left, and I didn't want to dig out the other one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try using, see, this recipe called for the 5.5 to 6 cups of the einkorn flour, and I only had 3.5 cups. So I'm going to opt to use the rest in this. So I've got in here, I've got 3.5 cups of einkorn, and I've also got 2 cups of this OO. And I'm going to put that in here. I've got another 1/2 cup of the OO set aside in case I need it. Now, we need to get our salt. And I've got to get some more sea salt. I am about out. Okay, I hope this turns out. I hope it'll be better than the last time. Because last time, I mean, it was good, and it was beautiful dough. It just didn't, I don't know, it didn't, it rose really a lot. Yeah, and it didn't flatten out really good for me. I mean, I liked it, and I'll do it again. But I'm hoping this turns out. I didn't want to have to dig that flour out. Yeah, of the freezer. So now I go to start getting this mixed together. And now I don't waste any of that, the einkorn sourdough starter that I've made. That will go back in the refrigerator till I'm ready to use it again, because that stuff's too expensive, that einkorn flour is. Yeah, and I can add that to whatever I want to. Actually, I may keep that one out for a little bit. I may make some buckwheat pancakes. Normally when I do my buckwheat pancakes, now I do buy that usually in a mix, which is stone milled. They just have already added in the flour and the milk powder and the egg and all that. But I usually put some sourdough to it. Okay. I'm gonna have to go in with my hands and get that incorporated really good. But yeah, I just take some of my sourdough starter and I put it in my pancake mix. And I've noticed that my pancake batter spreads better in the pan, for one, in the hot frying pan. And then everybody likes them, so yeah. But we do like the buckwheat a whole lot better than just the plain pancakes. Get that incorporated together good, and then yeah, after that I do that, I'm hoping that this turns out good, and I hope that this, you know, opting that different flour is going to still work. Yeah, but I don't know if we'll need that half a cup of flour or not, because we're using a different part flour. It's not all einkorn. I'm just trying to get it incorporated right now. It's really pretty dry. I don't want to have to put any more water, but I hope I don't. Because I want to get this incorporated, and then I want to cover it up and let it sit for about 20 minutes, and then that's when I want to knead it. Not actually now, but you know. I think I'm gonna have to put a little bit more water, because it's just way too dry. I'm just not digging that dryness. Flour in there good. Even if it is a little sticky when we come back to knead it, we got extra flour, so we can use that. I just don't want any of that dryness, dry flour showing in there. Okay, I think I about got it into, it's a little sticky, but it's not horrid, not horrible. I'm hoping for the best on this. Okay, we got it. It is sticky, but like I said, we've got a whole half a cup of flour to use when we come back to knead it. Now, what I'm going to do right now is I'm just going to cover it up, and I'm going to let it sit for 20 minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll hand knead it. Okay, ready to knead this. And I'm actually going to knead it in a bowl, so I won't keep you for that whole process. Here's what it looks like. And it's a little sticky. Okay, not too bad. Okay, I'm going to put just a little dusting of flour. And I'm basically just doing my normal kneading. I put flour as I knead it. And I'll do this till the dough looks right. And then I'll bring you back and show you what the dough actually looks like. Because this one, you know, we mix that flour. We'll see. Okay, I got our dough. I'm pretty sure it's ready. I kneaded that probably for, honestly, 6 to 8 minutes, just guessing. And since I didn't have such a big dough ball, I decided to stick it in here. if you're, I don't know if you watched the last time I made this. I didn't change the recipe. This time I changed the recipe. Last time I let it sit for, I think it was almost the 8-hour mark. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that now because my house is a lot warmer. So yeah, I'm gonna put it in here. I'm gonna cover it up with plastic, and I don't have a clue how long I'll be letting it sit. Yeah, I don't know, but I'll bring you back when we get, you know, ready to use it or such. Okay, our pizza dough, pretty big, so see if I can get it loose. Should have got my scraper. Smash them out. See, I wanted it in 3 because last time it was just too thick for us, but oh my goodness, how do I do this? Let's see. This one's pretty fat. Getting back in a ball. Okay. Well, it doesn't feel sticky, so that's a good thing. Doesn't need anything on it. They're close. I think that one's a little bit bigger. A little bit. Yeah. We're gonna go with it because I already got them in a ball. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna cover them for just a few minutes. You know, this one here is really a lot bigger. I think I'll take a little bit off of it. Put it with this one. I'm gonna cover those up for a few minutes and then we'll start pressing them out. Okay, let's see if we can press this pizza dough out. I figured maybe making it in that ball might make it easier. Sometimes it makes it easier when you're trying to do something round. Yeah, it's a glass, but you know, you use what you got. I have got a dough roller, but it's real big, and I love to use this glass whenever I'm doing like sugar cookies. I'll stick it in the freezer. Oh my goodness, yeah, it works really well. Now I'm wanting them thin, so why I'm opting to kind of roll this out a little bit, because they need to be thinner. I did not like the thickness of that last round of these that, well, it was just einkorn. So this time we've got some of that OO in there. Definitely want it thinner though. We just don't like all that thick crust. I've got my oven, I've got the pizza stone in the oven. You don't have to use a pizza stone if you don't have one. But I've got the oven preheating to 500. And I've already got all my toppings ready to put on there. As soon as I get it. Look at that. I get kind of a perfect rectangle when I really don't want one. I'm wanting a circle. Yeah. Like if I was doing croissants, it would want to go every which way, not be this perfect looking rectangle here. And I will not be letting it rise. So as soon as I get this rolled out and on that pizza pan, I'll be putting the toppings on there, because letting it rise, it's just going to make it thicker, and we just don't want it thick. It's looking pretty good though. Hopefully that's big enough for my pan. Of course, I'm not going to leave it on the pan. I'm going to take it off and put it on the pizza stone. It looks pretty thin though, so I think that looks pretty good. And it doesn't have to fit that pan, because I'm not actually using the pan to bake it, so I'm just using the pan to hold it on while I put the toppings on there. I've actually got parchment paper on the pan too. I'm real hopeful. This dough seems to be moving really well, so let's see. Now if it just stays together when I go to get it up, that will be the test, right? Okay. It's pretty thin, feels like. Okay, okay. Oh, I'm liking the way it looks. It feels a lot thinner than the last time. I've got my paper here. And that way I can just slide my pan right under there. Like so. Okay, it actually went over the pan, but that's okay. So I had it big enough, I just didn't realize it. Oh, okay, actually it's fitting perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna top it. Well, I can bring stuff over here, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of this Italian seasoning on this one. Not a lot, just a little bit. Okay. And then, as far as sauce today, we're trying this. Yeah, we haven't tried it before, so I have no clue. Thinking about starting to make myself sauce out of like the tomato paste and stuff. That's what I'm thinking about doing. I don't know, we'll see how good this is. This is a thicker sauce. It looks like it's kind of chunky, like. Look, it's kind of chunky, a lot thicker. Which might be better because we don't like a load of sauce either. Just like we don't like thick, real thick crust. Trying to just spread this out. Hoping that this crust will be good. Because it still has einkorn in it, so it's still healthier, a healthier version than just using like all-purpose or bread flour per se. Okay, I think we got that good enough. Yeah. On the side, let's see. Okay, she wants cheese on this one. Okay. Okay, so she wants some mushrooms. I don't have fresh, I just have canned, but that's okay. So. And she wants pepperonis. And I opted to just get the small ones. Okay. Yeah, let's put this. Okay. Oh, I do believe this one is ready to go in to the oven. Once I'm gonna go ahead and do the others. Once I get them done, I'll show you what the finish looks like, and then once I get to eating it, I'll show you how thick it actually turned out. First one's out. Look at that beauty. Does that not look just divine? If I do say so myself. And that is a pretty big pizza because it was kind of hanging over the pizza stone just a little bit. But yeah, it looks really good. Okay, another one gonna go in. I had to cut it and see. I want to show you. I think I might have gotten it. Look how thin. That's pretty thin crust. Now, if you want it thicker, this recipe will still work. You know, the einkorn is really good for you. So, if you have that einkorn, if you want to use this recipe, but you like a thicker crust, all you would do is when you mash out, roll out your dough or mash it out, however you want to do it. I got it thin because I used that rolling method. And two, I did not allow it to rise. So if you want it thicker, simply roll it out, put it out on your parchment paper pan, and cover it up and allow it to do a last little bit of a rise. And that way you can get a thicker one if you like it thick. But oh my goodness, I'm happy with that. Okay, here is the next one. The thinness got really brown. Look at, there's the bottom. Looks pretty good to me. Oh yeah.